Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of ChumChat. It's your boy, Johan Gomez, alongside my co-host, Tanner Testman. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have a very special guest today by the name of George Campbell. Two of our guests have already asked him to be on the pod, so we're so glad that we can get our boy on. We both personally know him, so this will be a good one. George, thanks for coming on, bro. Of
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
course. And
Yeah,
always
man.
remember, guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. All of our info will be in the description, so make sure to go follow us on there. But yeah, let's get into it. My G, obviously the first two games of Atlanta. I mean, you're in the starting 11 now. I mean, you guys, some mixed results, but how are you feeling? Yeah, new season, new you, or how are you feeling?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's opportunity, you know what I'm saying? So, whether it's like injuries or, suspensions, I just try to, learn and take what I can, take my opportunities when I get them and hope for the best.
I see you're playing. I don't know. Maybe it just the what I saw was wrong, but you're playing six now, no?
Last game, yeah, but that was because we had a little personal problem. One of our players had to go home the day before the game, so coach told me, "Yo, you're playing six," and I was like, "Word!" Like I haven't played there in a maybe since U16, like 4 years ago. I mean, I subbed on last year a few times there. I think that's why he was like confident to put me there. But I haven't started a game there in like
Yeah,
four
yeah.
years, so I was like, "Oh, this is a crazy opportunity to play midfield." So let's do it.
How did you feel there though? Like MLS is different, you know. How did you feel playing six,
Yeah,
bro?
it was funny because like Colorado's field is not. I don't know how it is normally, but yesterday or sorry, last game it was terrible. Like bumpy. Guys were playing long balls more than usual, so getting in midfield was kind of hard. Um, so at first I was like, like this ain't for me. I don't know how to play midfield. But I think if we were to play maybe at a better field or like the Mercedes Benz where we play on a good field and maybe a little bigger, the space would be bigger and it would be a little more fun. But that game was hard to find the ball on the ground. Not gonna lie,
I feel you. Playing in Colorado is tough, man. It's cold. It's cold there right now, huh?
freezing, freezing.
Man, yeah, man, it's tough, but geez, bro. Yeah, I thought I saw a bunch of comments and I watched a little bit. I thought you played well. So I mean, it's tough taking an L and Miles with the red card late. So I think that's
Yeah,
more opportunity for you, no? Like to jump in at the center back.
yeah. Next game is Saturday or Sunday maybe against Charlotte at home. So I hope to get the start again and get a W because, like I
Hey,
said before, like opportunities are coming. So
yeah, for
I gotta
sure,
take them.
bro.
I gotta take them.
Yeah, bro.
Some people are lining you up. I've seen things here and there, and some people are lining you up as the next guy to maybe make a jump to Europe after a solid season or two here. Obviously, you see Mark McKenzie done it. Shout out Mark. You seen Miles. Obviously, Miles is still at Atlanta, but if he wanted to move or he really wants to push a move, he obviously easily could. Is that a goal of yours? And do you feel that after a couple of seasons or maybe even just one season, you want to make your way over there? Or do you feel pretty at home in Atlanta? All right, guys, football might be over the season, but college and pro hoops are in full swing. For all the latest odds, totals, player performances, props to where the next fired coach is going to land, BET Online has all your betting needs. Head over to the website of your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to get started.
I feel home, but at the end of the day, I feel like your opinion can change sometimes. Some days I kind of wake up and I'm like, I see, friends like, you guys are in Europe. I see Bello. I'm like, yeah, that'd be really cool. I mean, whether it's, money pay raise, you get more of the spotlight, the quality is better, however you think of it. There's a lot of ups and downs. But, and then there's some days where I'm like, I can't ever imagine leaving Atlanta. But, you know, nowadays I kind of just think about Atlanta and what I can do for my team. But of course, there's some days where I'm like, yeah, I want to make it to Europe.
That's
For
an interesting
sure.
answer. I actually like that answer. I don't think we've heard that before because most of our guests are always like, Europe, Europe, Europe. But I appreciate the honesty, and that's perfectly fine. Obviously, you see
Yeah.
with Greg and the national team, I mean, MLS players are still getting called up quite fairly. So let's transition that into our next question of national team, is that on the forefront of your mind? Is that on the back of your mind? Obviously, you're still barely making your way into solid, like consistent starting football, but obviously you have to be thinking of that with Miles as your partner. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as I've been playing, making it to a World Cup, is one huge goal. And same with the Olympics. I think I don't know. Are we still eligible for the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cutoff here.
Yeah. So those two type of tournaments. Those two tournaments are like big goals for me. Whether I would be in the squad when I'm in here in Atlanta, or hopefully one day in Europe. I don't think that matters, but I just hope that I can get there one day. Whether I stay there or not, I mean, you don't know until you get the opportunity.
Yeah, man. I mean, opportunities are a big thing, and I keep hearing you say opportunities. And one opportunity that was taken away from all three of us was the U20 World Cup. That would have been, a big pivotal moment for a lot of people our age across the world. So how did you take in, that U20 World Cup being canceled? Obviously, that's where we first linked up was in Slovenia, Austria, when we went on the trip together with the U20s. But how do you think that affected your career so far?
It's funny because like when you say it now, I think about it more now than when I did in the moment when I heard about it, because I'm pretty sure I was one of the only ones, if not the only one. That was my first ever camp. So at the time, my mentality was like, am I here just for a little training, or do they actually want me to be a part of this national team? Because I've never been. So when they got canceled, I was kind of doubtful that I would be in a World Cup in the first place. But looking back at it, I don't know why I thought that, because the opportunity was there to be taken, and I don't know what other center backs or midfielders were in the pool, but now when I think about it, I'm like, that was an opportunity of a lifetime that we all missed, and I wish that it never got canceled, because who knows what could happen after that? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. I think we all feel the same way. Obviously, players got their different paths and everyone's got their own journey, but man, that U20 World Cup would have been an experience and an opportunity for all of us to be a different player today, to be in a different scenario. But hey, things worked out well. All three of us are getting in minutes in the pitch in our respective clubs, so it can't be that bad. It could have been worse situations with different players and situations, but obviously the 23s is still eligible. I don't know if you know how we qualify, but I'll break it down for you quick little note. But basically the 20s have to qualify for the World Cup. And by doing that, they have to get to the semifinal of their tournament. But to make us qualify, they have to make it to the final of the CONCACAF qualifications for the U20 World Cup. And if the U20s qualify, that means they get to the final. Hopefully they do. Then we are automatically qualified for the Olympics. So are you seeing yourself being in this Olympic squad? I mean, the pool's a little bit bigger because, it's the 23s and it's kind of that age where everybody's kind of playing men football. 20s, some people are still playing academy, some pro, some college. It's a little different. But 23s is a little different. Do you see yourself, hoping that we qualify, being in that picture?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I never knew that's how we qualify. That sounds wild.
It's just this year. It's the first time they did it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me fix this. Yeah, but I mean, I definitely, see myself having a big chance of getting in that squad. I mean, I feel like I've done well with the times I've played, and I feel like I'm only playing more minutes now. So, like I said before, I don't know who else is in the pool really, but I try not to keep up with that because I just focus on myself. So if I'm being honest, I think if I keep playing well and staying healthy, I think the sky's the limit for everybody basically. So yeah, I really do see myself pushing for a spot.
I love that you said that. I love that you said that. I think it's important for anyone listening, especially for young footballers like us. I mean, I think it's better when you're not necessarily paying attention to what other people do because it just affects your performance, stuff like that. As long as you focus on yourself, I mean, everyone knows like the quality that they have within themselves. So I think, like you said, you'll be perfectly fine. But transitioning a little bit into something I want to ask you, considering your last answer, is you talk about wanting to be in the national team and stuff like that. If the national team continues to evolve and you see a point where being in Atlanta, even being a star in Atlanta, isn't good enough to make the national team, will you sacrifice your comfortability in Atlanta to move abroad to be in the national team picture, or is that something you maybe think about further down the road?
Yeah, that's definitely something similar to what I said before. Like your opinion on that can change in a few years. Um, Dang, hey, any people have the AirPod Pros? It just keeps falling out my ear. Yeah, I mean, I feel like now looking back at it, or now looking forward to it, it's like that's a undeniable goal is to the World Cup, and I feel like that has power in my goals over anything else. So I feel like I should prioritize that. But then again, it can change. I could say, I think Darlington Nagbe was one of those guys who didn't want to, leave and go to Europe. He was comfortable here and doing well here. He's a family guy. So, maybe I turn into that, or maybe I'm hungry, to get to Europe and play in a World Cup. But that's something I have no idea.
I like that. I like that. You got a girlfriend or no?
I do not right now.
Okay. Okay. So possibilities
you
are
guys got a
open.
girl?
I don't have a girlfriend, no.
I got a girlfriend. I got a wifey. But your goals for this year, your personal goals for this year, and then also your team goals for this year. What does that look like for George Campbell?
Oof, I would say team wise, I think is clear for our team just because our coach has emphasized that we're going for the MLS Cup, Supporter Shield, and an Open Cup. We're going for all the trophies. But individually, phew, that's a good question because I haven't even thought about it myself. Or I have thought about it, but I would say I feel like my answer in the beginning of the year is always play as much as I can. And
Stay healthy.
that's yeah, stay healthy is always one. Stay healthy and play as much as I can. I feel like you don't know. Nobody has a ceiling, but you don't know where you can go until you really start, getting game time and life starts kicking off. You know what I'm saying? But your goals could be way higher than they can be in the moment, or way lower than you thought. So, right now I think it's just play as much as I can and stay healthy. And then in a few months, I'm like, oh, I see this is going in this direction, so maybe I'll set a new goal.
I like that.
I feel you.
So what I'm hearing is right now, maybe we hit you a little bit early. Obviously, we'll still drop this part 1, but we're going to lock you in right now for a part 2 so we can see if those goals have changed after a successful season, God willing. But actually, before I ask our signature success question, I want to ask, because you've played with so many different personalities in Atlanta. You have Joseph Martinez. Were you with the first team already when Miggy was still there?
I trained with them a few times, but I wasn't
signed. All those guys. I'm sure you have some stories. I mean, a lot of egos mixing in. Is there a story that jumps out to you about any of those, playing without any of those guys?
I think before I was it before I was signed? No, I was definitely signed. I remember I was training at the Benz, I think, before a game. And Pitts, he wasn't I think he was leaving. He might have been leaving, but he was still training. He was about to go on a transfer. And he hit the back of back of my ankle or something, kind of like a cheap shot. And I just I kind of went flying or something. And he was already walking back. And I just remember my goalkeeper, I think it was Alec Can at the time, was in the net, and he yelled at Pity. And he was like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" Kind of cursing at him. And I got up and kind of, did the same thing, backing myself up. And then after training, I remember we were with the guys on the ground and just, vibing, playing two-touch, whatever. And they all started making fun of me for not retaliating or hitting them back or anything. And that was when I was really, really young. So at the time I was like, what can I do? I mean, big ego, big player, star player. I can't hit him back or anything. I mean, I'll be out of here. But a few years later now, I look back at that moment actually, and I'm like, like now, I I wouldn't let that happen to myself. Not that I didn't have self respect, but now I feel like being a little older, more mature, and playing more. That's just something a young player has to deal with, and it's so relatable to every young player in the league. So because some of those things you just gotta dust off, and then if it happens a few years later when you're older, now you don't really take crap like that. So that's like a moral of the story, kind of for young players. Like if it happens, it happens. You kind of just gotta take it,
Gotta swallow your pride a little bit and just move forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a good story,
Hey,
bro.
that's good though.
Yeah, I
I
like
like
that
that
one.
one. I like that one. That's a good question, Joe. I like that one.
Um, Now moving into our signature question, obviously our whole thing is ChumChat, defining success, success defined. And every answer is different. So that's the beautiful thing about it. So we're gonna ask you, what is your definition of success, and do you think you've achieved it yet?
I would say my definition, how I always think about success is money is, money helps. Money doesn't literally buy happiness, all that. But I think success is basically the same as happiness. If I always ask the question, would you rather work a job and get paid little or that you love, or work a job that you hate and get paid a lot? And I think you always got to pick something that you're happy with, even if it's not paying or going to Europe or staying here. If I'm happy here, that's being more successful to me because it's my life. Kind of, I'm not obligated to please anybody, any fans, any reporters, any friends. For personally, I always play for me, my best friends, and my family, and I feel like whatever makes them happy makes me happy. And at the end of the career, however high that happiness goes is how successful I was. So that's my definition of success. But being this young, I don't think you can judge how successful you are just because there's too much life to live.
I like that. That's funny that you say that though, because it all is a bit
It's a
relative.
solid answer.
It is a solid answer, but it all is a bit relative because if you ask your 15-year-old self, are you successful? I mean, surely he'd say yes. You know what I mean? But now, like you said, you're more mature and you're like, I can't measure my success yet. So it's funny how that works because I'm sure even when you're 24, you'll be like, at 20, I definitely wasn't successful. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you say that. But I like how you
Yeah, but yeah.
Go ahead, Sam.
I think the life of a footballer, it changes, so quick. And I think that's what we were touching on earlier is like you don't know your path and the ups and downs, but it's also interesting like to live without regret, like if you're happy in a moment, but there's an opportunity that comes and you never know what could happen from it, you got to have that balance, and I think, you got to, number one, like you said, is your happiness. And if you're not going to be happy somewhere, then you shouldn't go there because somebody told you to, or somebody else did it and it worked for them, or everyone's different. You each have your own path and what suits you. So I like what you said there. I think that's one of the first answers that was kind of in both ballparks of like money and happiness, and it was good.
Yeah, I like it because it kind of goes in tune with, I don't know, like some Chelsea fans talk about, I don't know if you know who Oscar is, who played at Chelsea. Now he went to China or whatever, and they're like, oh, if you wouldn't have left for the money, you would have been such a great player and stuff like that. And like it goes hand in hand with what you just said. I mean, you can never know his life. Maybe he needed the money, maybe he wants the money to support his family. Maybe that's what makes him happy. At the end of the day, he didn't do it to please anyone else but himself, which I think that's super important.
That's why I hate Neymar haters. He's just playing to have fun, and he's not obligated to. Nobody knows him personally. I mean, people know him, but me and you don't know him personally, so we don't know what's going on in the back of his head. People try to blame him for being injured, this and that, but really, it's his life. He's not obligated to play and make the fans happy, or make some reporters happy, or some Instagram posts happy. He's just playing and playing for his family. He made his family money, living with his kid, I'm sure. So I don't even understand why people hate on him not living up to his potential. I think he's doing great. That's living up to his potential to me. So
I
feel that, Johan.
I think so too. Did you watch the doc on Netflix?
Yeah, I did. That's why I just thought about it. Yeah, I watched the documentary.
You liked it?
I liked it. Yeah, I accidentally had the. I think the setting was like it had the English audio on, so I was like, this would be way better if it didn't have that. And I realized I could have turned it off, but it was still good. It was still good.
Yeah, it's definitely a good message to see and hear. But no, I can appreciate that answer, bro. And actually, one more question because I think we're gonna wrap it up after this one. But we asked Chris something similar, and I think it's important because as young guys, you know, you have that moment from academy to pro, and now you're playing with these guys, these bigger guys, and you're like, everyone has that moment where you're like, maybe you steal the ball from a big player or you score on like a big keeper, and you're like, hold on, like I can't do this. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember that moment for yourself?
Ooh, I think not similar. I think not maybe not stealing it or tackling or scoring, but when a big player kind of shows some respect for you, I think there was a moment like that. I remember, I think it could have been the beginning of last year or the year before, or at the end of the year before. But I remember, I guess it might have been Joseph making a tackle on me that was not dirty, and how I explained Pitties earlier, not dirty, but it was a foul and like a clear foul, and he kind of held me up and did a little teammate butt tap, and as I went like sorry. Whereas before, if I was on the academy, it was like
Take it.
play on, take it, and he just stares you down and get up or something like that. So I feel like a lot of those moments happened maybe 2 years ago after I made my debut, where I was like, all right, like maybe once you start playing, that's when older players really start showing you more respect and not treating you not badly, but you know what I mean.
I like that a lot. I can relate heavily to that because it's not like as much on the field making plays against them or whatever. Because when you're playing, you're just playing. Like you don't think about it.
Yeah,
But for sure that like getting that respect, it feels like it feels like you're doing the right thing. And it gives you that extra confidence on the field, and it makes a big impact for young players. And I think that's why clubs like Atlanta United, FC Dallas, even LA with certain homegrowns and different clubs, they work so well having older players that have been in the league for a while and younger players, because that respect is very important, especially in a team that's trying to do big things like win the treble of the US. So
for sure.
All right, Tim, you got anything else for this boy?
I just think we wrap it up with a question we asked Bello, we asked Richard, we asked Bryce, and now we're asking you, who do you want to see next on ChumChat? Could be anybody.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that when you mentioned in the beginning. I'm trying to think who anybody.
Anybody. You don't even
Obviously,
know.
most likely to
Anybody.
play.
Anybody.
Ooh, my boy on my team, Matchup Chol. If you guys, do you guys know him or not?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I met him when I went on my visit to Wake Forest, and my boy plays there. Two of my boys played there, but like I
Okay.
know of him. Yeah, for
He's
sure.
he's
Yeah,
he's one. He's one. He's a
yeah.
goofy guy. He's soft spoken. Like his voice is very soft. He's pretty quiet if you don't know him, but he's a goofy guy.
Yeah.
I want to see if I got anybody else that's not on my team. You feel me? I don't want to lose
Yeah.
any teammates. Dang, who was recommended in the past? Like not me, but other guys that were recommended.
We got as big as like Weston. They've recommended
Christian.
yeah.
Those are tough to get, but we've had.
We're working our way up there for sure.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect it. Y'all been around. I feel like U.S. soccer and more abroad people than I have, so I can't think of anybody that's like a step up from me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, if you think
Hey,
of anyone, you can DM
yeah.
to us, and then we'll have our editor
For
pop it
sure.
up on the screen.
All right, for sure.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's it. You have anything you want to say? I mean, obviously, we're gonna plug your socials. Your Instagram will be popped up throughout the video. Is your Twitter the same as your Instagram?
No, it's not. I don't even know my Twitter.
We'll
We'll
pop up
figure
your
it out.
Twitter also. We'll figure it out for you, my boy, and go show him love. Obviously, follow Atlanta United on every social to stay up to date with George and everything that he's doing this season on his quest to get the U.S. treble. Anything you want to say, bro?
Nah, just thank you guys for having me. It's good seeing y'all. And hopefully I see y'all soon on the field or wherever else.
Of course, bro. Hopefully,
Facts.
fingers crossed. I
Of
think we
course.
will definitely. But thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. If you like the content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check out our Instagram, our Twitter, everything down in the link in the description. And as we always say, go find your own success. Deuces.